Welcome to another episode of the Get Hip Podcast. Gang in here. We a gang. We here. I'm here with my little cousin. But yeah, but this time he's not gonna be in too much because this shit is going down, guys. Yo. Let's dive straight into it like a what? Come on, bro. You gotta be faster than that.
Bro, I don't know. Goldfish? You trying to rhyme? Like,
Come, let's dive in like a gay orgy. But anyway.
what? What?
You already know, bro. To the gays out there, you already know. You already know. You already know. You know what I'm talking about. Just make sure you don't come in your ass because I think it gives you AIDS. But that's just me talking. Anyway, uh, he's so traumatized.
Nah, I'm wondering. Does it ever get stuck though?
Yo, that's a good question. Yo, back in Ghana, I used to see some movies where like they would do the woman and it's just gonna get stuck and they have to like call the man to like do some voodoo thing and break the curse.
Type of witch? What type? Bro, what the hell?
Yo, I'm telling you, Ghana is a strange place. Yeah? Ghana, Benin, and Nigeria, those are the places an evolution of juju or the dark arts. In Canada, they have a lot of that, right? But they make it so nice that you don't even see that you're buying witchcraft.
Like Ouija boards for it? And no, actually, nah. Ouija boards are like popular for like witchcraft, but like, what do you mean?
Bro, you know this girl called Summer Walker? She calls herself a witch. Yeah, bro. Summer Walker, whatever the shit her name is.
Why did she call herself a witch?
She actually has a shrine and stuff. I think it has some human bones and she makes sacrifices and stuff.
I think that's a serial killer, man. What the hell?
Bro, nowadays like the way the world is, people are even hiding like the so-called demonics and shit. Like they're making you know the belief in the spirituality is just funny to me because it's like I believe in spirits. Like, I'm a spiritual person. But the musicians do say it, and when you go research the music, it's all about all these demons and all these gods, and they're like, "Oh my god, it's just art. It's just art." Really, like you could have found other words, but why did you really have to mention their names in your song? Do you have any idea why?
Yeah, that's isn't music a way to express like certain like your emotions and whatnot? That's kind of yeah, that's suspicious. Like music's a way to express your emotions and like what you feel strongly about, right?
Wow, you're very smart for a guy with noodles on his head. But yeah, I actually yeah. Yo, he didn't get a joke. But yeah, yeah, yo, like I believe the most of the music industry is demonic. Like, but anyway, we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about the vaccines, bro. Yo, we're here to talk about a different type everything. First of all, I wanted to dive straight into it with the Montreal thing. Have you heard what's going on in Montreal?
Nope. What's wrong?
You haven't heard that now they're trying to charge people unvaccinated taxes?
I thought they did that in like other places beside that. Actually,
Really? Where?
I don't know actually, but I swear I thought like they did that in like more places other than Montreal. But that's so crazy. Like unvaccinated tax. That's
First of all, you have no information about that, and you think that you know what? I'm not even gonna blame you because there's so much stuff happening here, especially in this world, that you believe that this thing has is just started, bro. Unvaccinated taxes. Is it fair?
no. Actually, I don't know like a lot of trouble people face with like being unvaccinated, so I'm not really sure.
That's a smart answer for a little kid. But let me ask you something. Are you supposed to be punished extra? Or are you supposed to be given more difficult work just because of the color of shirt you choose to wear?
No.
Are you supposed to be treated different just because you choose not to do whatever everybody's doing?
Choose not to do actually not because I mean if I'm treated like badly for it that's one thing, but like if they're treating me like in a way to like in a way that's like how do I say this it think of a word uh it just it goes with like since I'm different from people, then like let's say that some in some ways I get offended by certain things, like in a way where like I wouldn't be like offended.
So, if I'm getting you right, are you talking about prejudice? Are you saying that what they're doing is prejudice in the terms? In the terms of like they're choosing to discriminate against people who don't believe in what they believe. Is that what you're saying?
Discriminating against people who don't believe in what they believe, like treating them badly or like,
Yeah, differently or badly.
oh, okay, badly. That's, like that's not good. Like treating them differently, but like to still help them. That's like, it's different than like what other people are like, but like you're still respecting them, right?
No, they call us terrorists. They call us racist. I'm unvaccinated, by the way. They call me Justin Trudeau said the unvaccinated people are mostly terrorists and racist. Do you think I'm a terrorist and do you think I'm racist? So why would a whole prime minister, instead of uniting the whole country together, because first of all, before the virus came, we were all Canadians, weren't we?
Yeah.
So what happened? Why does the virus has to change our opinion about each other? Why would the prime minister go as far to say that we are terrorists and we are racist and we are full of hate? Why would he choose to say that? Because a person chooses not to follow what he believes. Is that is that right?
No, I don't think it's right.
But you said that they were helping us because if they're treating us in a different way to help us.
No, because like they're calling you terrorists and racists. What I was like trying to say was like if they're like treating you differently in like a way that where like you're still respected as like a normal person, like a person who works hard, like a good person, and like that's one thing. But like they're calling you things that are, like they got no proof, right?
So here's the thing. Here's what happens when little boys are being taught by their teachers and are being taught by media. Cause Aaron, did you do any research for yourself?
No.
Exactly my point. I'm not here to bully you. I know you understand that this is an education podcast and occasionally funny, like the noodles on your head. But what I'm trying to say is that like first of all, whenever you treat someone different, you make them abnormal. You make them abnormal. Because if they were normal, you wouldn't treat them differently, would you?
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Exactly my point. So if I'm treating someone different or if I'm treating someone special, I'm treating someone less special because of what they believe in or because of what they do. Is that right?
No, nah, because you're treating them less special, right?
Or more special. Is that right?
More special. That's uh mm, I mean, that's not right because like the other people, they would like want to be treated as special too because it would be not fair, right?
So let me ask you a question. Do you think it is important that we all get the same treatment, or do you think that somebody's injection should give them a different status than other people?
Nah, I think we should be treated normally because people would like question and be like angry at like the how others are treated, right?
This is all we are asking for, and yet the prime minister calls us terrorists.
Is that like is that really what is I never actually seen like news and stuff, so I never really knew about like what Justin Trudeau's been saying was like.
He's a bitch.
Oh, so that's why people hate him. I mean, I heard they hated him. I just didn't know why.
Do you know what this guy did with the money during like the stock market? If those who are unfamiliar, he had huge shares in Canada Airlines and he blocked every single airline from coming to what do you call it, Canada, and you only commissioned Canada Airline to take over. The name of Canada Airline was called Air Trudeau. I wonder how that is. And he made billions of dollars because he commissioned Air Canada to be paid billions of dollars for apparently missing a lot of flights. Do you think it makes sense?
I'm gonna need you to run that by me again. Hold on.
I know he's not really into the stock market, but those outside, go do your research. Air Canada, the symbol is AC. First, it was called Air Trudeau. It has been recently changed to Air whatever. I think is Vertigo or whatever. For Justin Trudeau has major shares in it. This I Going back to the vaccine, I told you guys that there's coming a day that you guys will fully see that this is not about the vaccination anymore. It's about power and it's about control. It's about letting people bend over backwards to the will of one person and one person only. I told you this and it's happening. People said I was stupid. People said I was crazy. People didn't believe me. Now, everything that I've said is coming to pass. People are revolting because people choose not to take a strange medication in their body. Do you know how stupid you sound for forcing somebody to take strange medicine in their body? Yo, by the way, the taxes in Montreal Premier and Premier, go suck yourself. Or French, sacre bleu. You didn't get that again? Sacre bleu. This is purely a disgusting act by both parties. And for the prime minister to be standing there and supporting this just shows that, first of all, he doesn't give a shit about anybody. Second of all, he would mm, like to impose these types of strange, like, what do you call it, restrictions on us. And it's just hilarious because as a leader of the country, shouldn't you be the one uniting the country? Why are you calling people who disobey your orders terrorists and racists? You're a segregator. No wonder you dig blackface or brownface, you fucking prick. That's all you know, how to how to wear other people's skins. Good for you, bud. And I'm not just saying, I'm talking about George. I'm talking about all the governments, all the leadership, and to all those to all those supreme judges who have not uphold the charter rights and freedoms, the right to health actually, and not giving your, what do you call it, your medical statement to job places. You know that is illegal. No supreme judge, no supreme like no supreme judge has ever stood up against that act. What happened to you? You guys all of a sudden are pussies? You guys don't want to get the Charter of Rights and Freedom is the law that is above every single law. I'm not a lawyer, but we're taught this in law class. This is the only law that is above and any such violation of that law makes all the president stupid and irrelevant. So why is it that now people are going against other people's charter rights and freedoms, and no supreme judge has stood up to turn over the case? Wow, this is not about the vaccine anymore. This is about what do you call it? About power. It's about bending over backwards, man. And it's sad and it's scary. That brings me to my other point. I think that I finally figured out what is going to happen. I think all these years, man, the government and everybody were preparing for a hunt. Let me explain to you what I mean by this. The first thing that I think is that the improvement of self identification and facial recognition technology is beyond my imagination. To the point that somebody just taking a picture of the side of your face could potentially lead you or link you to a scenario. Geotags, all these surveillance, man. I personally think that this is going to be a preparation for a hunt for bad guys, a hunt for whatever justification they use. This and every single monitoring technology is being prepared to hunt other people. I don't know, but it just doesn't. It feels so unnatural. So my spiritual people there, read the Bible, Revelations. You know the end of days are coming. Don't you think we are in the seventh year, or we are in the half of the seventh year, where the beast forces people to get their mark, his mark? And after that, when people don't get his mark, what he does is that he starts forcing them. Revelations, come on. He starts forcing them to collect his mark. And he said, nobody's safe because wherever you go, he's going to find you. Remember, read the Bible, Revelations. But anyway, let's move on to another topic because today I said shit is going down and every shit is going down. I want to talk about George Floyd knees getting shot and the fact that the officer has not even been caught. He or she has not been apprehended till this day. Why and what is the justification for shooting a 4 year old, Aaron? I want to hear from you. What scenario can you justify that a 4 year old has to be shot?
I really got nothing, bro. I mean, like, hey, if no one was involved, I really got nothing.
So you're saying that even if so what? Let me get you straight. So you're saying that if the parents were criminals, then the justification would be like they were trying to kill or apprehend the girl's parents, so it's okay for them to be shot. Is that what you're saying?
Nah, I was thinking of like a scenario where, like, hostages, right?
Okay, run us through it.
Um, well, hypothetically, if like someone kept her as a hostage and like they threatened to like kill the daughter for whatever reason, which didn't happen, then like it would be a tricky situation for the officer, but still, it would still be wild for him to actually shoot the daughter. Still, yeah, I really got no situation as to like how he could justify killing her.
First of all, I don't think she died, by the way. But let's go over the article. Let's go over the article. So this is what the article in summary said, and I'm going to read parts of it. Okay, I'm going to read parts of it. So according to globalnews.ca, you could search George Floyd niece shot Ariana Delane. It said the officer went to the area and searched for a scene. They happened to notice a large hole in the fence leading to the apartment complex, but there were no flagged down, but were not flagged down by any citizens, and eventually left the location without observing the crime scene. Okay, now let's move on to the part that I want you to hear how people are trying to cover up the this what do you call it? It happened a long time, but it's just cruel that sh- the officer has still not been apprehended. It hasn't been apprehended. So I'm going to read another passage again. It said, the girl's father, Derricka Delane, told the news, whatever TV, that his daughter suffered from a punctured lung and liver and three broken ribs. In quotes, my daughter jumped and said, Daddy, I've been hit. And I was shocked until I seen blood and realized that my 4 year old was really hit. She didn't know what was going on. She was asleep. Yo, are you fucking serious? Are you serious? Is this what we are doing now? Like now is it okay for people to shoot down 4 year olds? Why hasn't the police still been caught? Why is his name still not in the newspapers? What is happening? What type of justification can you justify to shoot a 4 year old? Huh? What is going on? And to this day, as I'm not a father, but I would imagine that as the father of Ariana, I'll be pissed that till this day, the officers have not been arrested. And it continues to say this. Houston Police Chief Troy Fenner released a statement saying officers did respond to a call but did not see any evidence of a crime scene when they arrived. How the fuck does that make sense? How would you go to a crime scene? So called, you respond to a crime scene, so called. Go there, see no evidence of a crime. That means you have no reasonable doubt that there's a crime, and also there's no physical evidence that there's a crime, and still end up shooting a 4 year old. What type of next level racism shit is this? What is going on, bro? You go to the crime scene, you see no signs of a break in, you see no signs of no crime, and yet you shoot up a 4 year old in the torso, collapsing her lung, her liver, and breaking three of her ribs. Why isn't the officer in jail? Why does the officer have to go scot free? How do you justify shooting a 4 year old? I really want this case to go to court because I want to listen to what the officer will say to justify shooting a 4 year old. Accidents should not happen if there's no crime. There is no crime. There's no physical evidence of a crime. You have no reasonable doubts to suspect there's a crime. If anything, you're going there for a wake up call or like a complimentary call, whatever policing term it is. There's no evidence of a crime, and yet you fire your weapon. This is what I think, in my opinion, the law should do. Any single injury on a person being apprehended by the officer, this is what should happen. The officer should be charged first to justify the reason for the injury on that person. Every single officer should have their body cam at all time, especially when they're apprehending suspects, when they're making infiltrations, right? When they're making infiltrations, shit, my English is not coming. When they're making infiltrations, every single time their why don't they have their body cams on? Why can't we see the body cam footage? If the cop were to have died, then we'd have seen footage of what went on. But he almost killed a 4-year old, and there's no footage of anything. What happened, bro? Or are human beings that forgetful that now our memory runs on like a 2% battery? Because we've been exposed to so much trauma that then it's trauma after trauma after trauma. A lot of people have died even in this month, and it's just that it's so much death that our brains have been turned off to trauma. We don't respond well to trauma anymore. And what do you feel about death?
Honestly, when I hear someone died, it's mostly just another one type thing. Like it is what it is situation because I just accepted that like all of it just happens. You know.
You see what I'm talking about, guys? A young teen, bro. When I was at his age, when people ask me what do I feel about death, I felt a sincerity and a spiritual connection. I felt like, well, they're going home, or like some type of like they're tired, or like it's unfortunate. He just told me. We didn't rehearse this, man. This is not rehearsed. This is his own opinion. He told me that he just says another one. Mind you, he's in his teens, bro. So when he grows to his 20s and his 30s, how do you think you feel about death then? It's crazy, guys. Like it's mad. It's maddening to think that teens, like young kids nowadays, have seen so much death that they're starting to become desensitized to death. Huh? Huh? Yo, isn't that stealing their childhood per se? This girl is forever going. Ariana is forever going to. Listen, let me mention her name. Ariana Delane is forever going to be traumatized because for her to even say, "Dad, I'm hit," that's over. Forever in her life, she's always going to be traumatized, knowing that as I don't know the race, but I presume is white. A white police officer shot her with no reason and almost killed her, collapsed her lungs, her liver, and broke 3 of her ribs. All because of nothing. Of nothing. They kill your uncle and now they want to kill you too. All because of nothing. It was May 2000. I think it was May 2020. Or let me check the article. I don't want to miss my bearings. It was May 2020. May 2020. May 2020. This is 2022. The officer has still not been arrested. What the shit is going on?
Wait a minute. How did this? If this happened in 2020, then why was it never talked about in like 2021?
Say it again.
If this happened in 2020, then why was it like not talked about in 2021?
Because we have a bunch of bitch ass people who are trying to do bitch ass things. You know what's funny? That also brings me to another point, Aaron.
Yeah.
Look, you're a young boy, all right? First of all, I would like to tell you this: the government doesn't have your best interest at heart. The government has the government's best interest at heart. The rule of government is not for the people. The rule of government is for governments to continue having power. That is why most rich people could do whatever they want because they supply the government money and funds for their power. Do you understand what I'm saying? I believe Jeff Bezos has killed people before. I'm not saying he has. I'm saying it's my conspiracy.
Do you mean like he's done it, but like he's been protected under the government?
It could be directly or indirectly. First of all, it's not that hard to kill a person. If you study forensic science, you could get it over with. You,
How hard is it to hide a body though these days?
trust me, people get creative. I'm not teaching you to go kill someone, right? But I'm saying that because think about it, in order for you to be that successful, you will have some enemies. Even if it's not directly, you still have ordered a hit on someone, right?
I mean, yeah, I've heard like a lot of murder stories of where like people would like put them in acid or like bury them or like mutilate them so they wouldn't like know who the victim is.
Do you know the dark web?
Yeah, I heard of it.
Have you gone on it before?
Nope.
I always wanted to go on the dark web. For those listening who could hook me up, hook me up. But here's what I'm trying to say. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Do you think funeral homes, how do you think some funeral homes make money?
I swear I've heard a video on this. I mean, I can't remember exactly how, but is it? Do they? Well, who pays them? It's not like the family of the deceased pay them, right?
They do. The family of the deceased pays them. But let me tell you something. I This is just my conspiracy. I think it's actually true. I don't think that most look. Let me rephrase what I'm saying before people go crazy. This is what I personally think. Most funeral homes don't work for like regular people. They don't work for like just dead people and the deceased and they just come and bury them. I think some of the John Wick shit is not actually fact. It's not actually fiction. I think some of it is factual. For instance, you remember the scenes where he kills a bunch of people, then he calls people to come clean it up.
Uh,
You haven't watched John Wick before?
no, I haven't.
Suck balls. But anyway, for those who have watched John Wick, the part that he calls people to come clean it up, I think 100% some of the funeral like home industries are in it, cuz there's no way, right? Absolutely no fucking way, right? That these businesses are $1 billion, sometimes $1 million profits. I know like a day, let's say a day, I know like people die daily. However, how much will you charge a dead body? And why is it that almost always their morgues are full? Almost always the morgues are full. Whose dead bodies are you collecting there, bro? And nobody hears shit about them. When they do their incinerations, nobody hears anything. What is going on, bro? Nobody questions them when they incinerate because it's expected for a funeral home to incinerate people, right? Yeah, a doctor will give you permission, but how many times can you get over that? You know what? Bullshit. Let's change the topic. What I'm trying to say is that the purpose of government, I learned this in my philosophy class. Shout out to Big Androgen, you know yourself. He said the purpose of government is not for the people, it's for the government to keep power. The monarchies were just replaced with governments. Have you ever realized why it's so hard for a regular person to come into power?
No, no, actually. Wait, isn't it yeah, maybe it's hard cuz like they don't support the government.
I don't think I get what you're saying, but I'm gonna ask you the question again. I said, why do you think it's hard for regular people to come into power?
Um I don't know. I mean,
You don't know. Let me tell you something. All these people, right, have a cult. A cult could be a bad thing, it could be a good thing, but they're a cult of people who have appointed individual representatives of their group to run for power. Every single political party is a cult. Every single political party is a cult. Therefore, everyone who follows a particular party is an occultist. What is the definition of a cult? I want the dictionary definition of a cult because this is funny. Cult. C. I said all cults, but cult. A cult, a group, a sect, or a movement following an unorthodox religion or philosophical system of belief, especially one in which members remove and exclude themselves from greater society, including family members not part of the cult. Right? It said, let's go to the informal definition. A group of people having an obsession or intense admiration for a particular activity, idea, person, or thing. Anybody who's extremely, what do you call it, liberal, extremely conservative, extremely one way, you are part of a cult. You're a cultist. You're a cultist, bro. Yeah, but anyone who follows a cult, no, anyone who follows a political party to the extreme is an occultist. Because you're obsessed about the party. You're obsessed about the beliefs. You believe that party is it. Is the shit. You're an occultist, man.
okay, yeah, I see what you're saying.
The purpose of government, yo, have you realized that almost every single president, right? Prime minister, whatever, And every one of them comes have some links to each other in a certain way. Everyone has links to their competitors in a weird way. It's like a group of people just comes together and they're like, you know what? Let's do this. Let's hire this person. Let's hire that person. The funny thing is that monarchs have just been replaced with governments. The difference between a queen and a king is now called prime minister and prime vice. Wait, do Canadians have a vice prime minister, right?
I don't actually know. All I heard is
What?
no. I'm pretty sure it's just prime minister. Yeah.
But what the fuck is the second one? The one in second, or the leader of the opposition? What's his name? Let's say the prime minister and the leader of the opposition. A president has a president and a vice president, right? Bro, it's the same thing as a king and a king and his council. Does the same. It's just been replaced, bro. The idea that we are done from the monarchy is just stupid because it's a different thing repackaged and resold to you as the same shit, whatever you want, and it's just inadvertently happening right now. Like now we are seeing that forced vaccinations. Do you want it? No. You can't travel if you don't have it. Why? I don't want you to leave the country. Why? Because I don't want to because I don't want you to. Okay, but I don't want to follow your rules. Yeah, but you still can't leave. You have to do what I want before I let you go. Isn't that dictatorship?
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Yo, I'm not trying to pollute anybody's mind, right? But shit is going down. Yo, I think the real struggle begins this year. And I think something is happening 22nd October. No, 22nd February. I feel it in my stomach, in my bladder.
Why specifically 22nd?
I don't know. You know the book of Notre Dame is, right? Yeah, whatever the fuck his name. Notre
I heard of it. I just don't know it.
book. You know what? Let me search the book about the end of the world. Hold on. I think he has a different name. I think it's Nikolai. Ah shit, I can't find it. But he had a weird name, right? He wrote that the world would end in 2012. That's what the scientists calculated it to. But here's the funny thing. I think we got the messaging wrong.
I mean, like, I heard that people believe that was actually 2021 because they just switched the numbers around. But do you think like it might be 2022?
No, I think it was 2012. But I don't think that is what we start. I don't think that he was trying to say that the world is going to end. I think what he was trying to say is that the beginning of the world's ending is starting from 2020, 2012.
How did the whole world is gonna end thing like how did they even expect it to end in 2012?
No, he wrote a book like in the 18th century or the 17th century. And most of the shit he said came to pass. And ain't that a bitch? Because the Bible said the same thing. And most people don't believe the Bible. Like literally, it's just bro. If yo, I'm not saying you have to be a Christian to read the Bible, right? But if you're looking for truth, do your investigation throughout, right? Don't just neglect something just because you're not a fan of it. If you're not a fan of God, but the Bible gives you message about God, go read it just to get the information. If you're not a fan of God and Islam could give you the information that you're looking for, don't say because you're not religious, so you're not gonna read it. Go read it so that you get the information. Because it said, study to show yourself approved. You have to study so that you don't become an ignorant fuck.
And so people okay, so like the end of the world like that was also written in the Bible?
Bro, the end of the world has been written 2,000 years, bro. Every single thing that God has said is coming to pass. I don't care if you're Christian or not. Read the Bible, read Revelations. Everything the Bible has said, metaphorically and not metaphorically, is coming to pass.
Like what?
For instance, you know when he said that the mark of the beast 666, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people believe that the because you're Aaron, this is not a disease that you have to force anyone to get vaccinated. Do you think so?
No, because like the vaccine, it doesn't actually like. What does it even do?
It doesn't work. I said this on another episode of the podcast that I made. It's called Unvaccinated, Vaccinated, and Vaccinated Too. Search it on my page. I said this. It doesn't work.
Yeah,
It doesn't work.
yeah. You said that doesn't work, and you also mentioned that like during the what was it, the Spanish flu or something? It was like a different disease, like the Spanish flu. Like when they made the vaccines, they didn't force everyone to take it.
It was actually the swine flu.
Oh, swine flu. Okay.
The swine flu was just what do you call it? A development from the cold flu, the common flu, and yeah, it didn't kill as many people. Yo, look, this is what I tell people every time, right? And those listening, I want you to listen. Kirby, thank you for being my listener. Sarah, thank you for liking my stuff. But here's what I'm trying to say: the death of the people due to coronavirus is not in vain, right? It doesn't invalidate the deaths. I'm not invalidating the deaths of anyone who died due to COVID. In high population countries like India and China, of course, there is the expectation of fatalities were high because those are overpopulated countries. However, although the deaths are not invalid, the infection to death ratio too should not be invalidated. A lot of people died, I admit. However, compared to the infection rate to the death rate, which is the death rate is around 5% and the recovery rate is around 95%, you can't tell me that this disease is a deadly disease. Statistically speaking, you're full of shit. And the funny thing is that those high institutions, Aaron, no university spoke against it, although it was not working. UFT, they did their statistic analysis. No statistics teacher reported it. Yale, Johnson and whatever, John Hopkins or whatever the fuck it's called. They all did their statistic analysis, but no statistician ever presented the evidence that no statistician, no statistic professor stood on the podium to prevent the evidence and try and convince us otherwise. Because the statisticians know that 5% is close to null. If you do what do you call it, data analysis, and when you form like let's say it was formed by a bell curve or the Gaussian curve, right? The Gaussian curve. 5%, 5%, bro, and a 95 recovery rate. If you draw your lines, bro, come on, bro. Huh. Damn, this is a lot to take in, and it's sad to see that. I'm not happy that what I said is coming true, because I always rather be wrong when I make bad predictions than be right, because it doesn't benefit you, Aaron. Doesn't benefit me. Doesn't benefit anybody if my predictions about the wrong things come to pass. I rather my predictions about the wrong things never come to pass, because now we are living it. I told you so is not enough, because I told you so doesn't do anything for me. I rather look for solutions to the outcome rather than just be there, because that makes no sense. If you're there and you do nothing, that makes no sense. I've been looking for a protest to go to, an anti-vaccine protest. I'm not against all vaccines. I'm just against this COVID vaccine. I got vaccinated for measles and polio. That helped me a lot. Because in Ghana, I saw people with polio and it doesn't look good. Trust me. Measles doesn't look great. Trust me. Those diseases need vaccination. However, I don't think this coronavirus needs to be a forced and mandated vaccine. Whatever the fuck. To the point that yo, Aaron, CP24 run a news that having the vaccine gives you a longer life.
What?
Does that make sense? To the point that even it came out that now if you have the first and second dose, you're still not fully vaccinated. You need to get boosters before you become fully vaccinated.
The hell are boosters?
Does that make sense, bro? How scientists came out, like the same Pfizer, the same like Moderna companies, they all came out just to say that the vaccines don't work. You still pass it to your grandma, you still pass it to your what do you call it, your mom, your dad, when you have it, even when you're vaccinated. And then people be like, they forget. It's like the truth is that it's like they it's like they're telling you, yo, we fucked up. Like we don't know, like, the vaccine, it's not working. It's not working. It's not working. You still have oh sorry. You still have the same rate as someone who's unvaccinated to spread the disease to your grandma. And all those blah blah blah. You unvaccinated are killing people. You're killing people. Now they all shut up. Why don't you now come out of your silly bags, take your head up from your ass, and say you're sorry and help us fight against these mandatory things? Because Unfortunately or fortunately, you guys were wrong. Nobody means to kill somebody's mother unintentionally unless they're a psychopath, right? However, everybody's entitled to what they do with their bodies. And I think as such, we should respect it. And for the officers who haven't been called for Andriana Delaney, Texas, step your shit up. All body cams should be worn by cops, and they should be on regardless. I think the police should be held responsible first when injuries occur to the person that they arrested because you have the power to kill somebody on the spot. I think first, every single cop investigation that ends up in a killing of a civilian or of a corporate, the first thing that should be done is that an investigation be launched into the officer first before the investigation be launched into the criminal or the person dead. You should be questioned for why you killed the person rather than the person be questioned for why you made them kill him or her. That doesn't make sense. You can't look you can't shoot somebody, right? And expect the questions to be asked to the dead person. You're like, why did this person deserve to die? How about why did you shoot him instead of using other measures to detain him or her? We shouldn't live in a shoot first, answer later society. We should live in a society of the answer first, justify it before you shoot. It takes look. I'm not saying police work is not dangerous. It is 100% dangerous. But as someone who's legally been handed the license to kill, I don't think you should be pulling your gun out anyhow. I think the only justification to pull up your gun is first, you see that the person has a weapon that you're going to use. And the weapon, it depends. If they have a knife, use a taser. You could use a gun. I won't judge. Because a knife and a gun, bro, if an attempt on your life is an attempt on your life. But if they have a baton, are you really going to use a gun? Are you really going to use a gun against a baton? What the, what? All cops should be questioned first on every injury and on every death, every single body cam. If the officer doesn't have a body cam on, the officer should be fined for not having the body cam on. Why don't you have your body cam on? It's a safety measure that the precinct and institution um, came up with to protect the lives of other people and to protect you as well. So why isn't your body cam on? What is wrong with people saying that I don't want people to know who I am? I don't know. You're a cop. You work for the public. Of course, everybody's supposed to know what you're doing when you're on duty. You goof. Yo, Aaron, you're looking at me. I'm very passionate, eh?
Yeah, I know.
I'm just screaming into the mic. Yeah.
The mic is probably like peaking so hard right now.
I like yo, the mic is fucked. But nah, I just wanna end it real quick. If you work when I work security, when they came to public, I'm not comparing myself to the cops because all the cops do, you know, more stuff, right, than security. But even me, when I was at security, I was a private security and I was a citizen. I was a civilian as a security. When somebody from the member of the public comes and says, "Hey, give me your card. I need to take a picture of it." I say, "Okay, which angle do you want me to put it at? Do you want me to put it to my face or do you want me to show it to you?" Do you know why you do that? Because it's required by the law, you goof. And also, it's for your protection and their protection. It makes sure that you don't do any fucked up shit because you know they have your ID. And it also makes them feel safe because they're like, if you do fucked up shit, I have your ID. It's a check on both sides. Have your body cams on. The cop who shot a 4-year old, bro, go to jail, bro. Go to jail. 6 years, 10 years. A minimum of 10 years, bro. Go to jail. Why will you shoot a 4-year old? Why will you shoot a 4-year old? You have no evidence of crime in the place, and yet you still went there and shot your gun. What type of common sense is this? It's like you're going to the store with no money, and yet you walk out of the store with everything. That's theft. What you're doing was illegal. You need to be punished. Aaron, you have any last words to say?
Uh,
Make it quick.
yeah, I got nothing, honestly. Man, the whole police thing is just crazy to me though. It's just like how they not even got caught. Because like I mean, you think like since the government has like so many ways of like knowing where people are, they'd know where like the police person is, right?
They do know.
Oh,
They know. They know all the time. They know all the time where their police are. How do you think they get reinforcement there that fast?
oh yeah, that makes sense. So how is he not getting got caught though? That's just
The police officer didn't run away. He still works.
oh okay then what happened with them?
Nothing.
Just nothing. Like they just
Yeah, they shot the girl and nothing happened.
they didn't get a sentence or anything. Like nothing.
Nothing.
Really, that's nah. That's no way. That's just
Aaron, imagine you had a 4-year-old sister and someone shot her. Imagine Emily was your 4-year-old sister and someone shot Emily.
why? How could they even? That's just wild.
And this is a teenager, and that man was 30 years. And we did the math. That man has been alive. I wanna pull the math real quick. Let's do this because I like working with numbers, as you could tell. Oh shit, I cleared history. But yeah, anyway, the man was around like 504 million seconds older, which is around 16 years old. Let's say 16 years. You know what? Let's compare her to the girl. Let's do the math real. So let's assume the man is in his 30s, right? The girl is 4 years old. So 26 times 365 days. So that means that the man is older than the girl 9,490 days, right? Now let's do minutes. How many minutes has the guy been alive more than the girl? Assuming the officer was the man or woman, was 30 years and the girl was 4 years. That means he or she, the officer, has been alive more than the 4-year-old, 569,400 minutes. Sorry, let me do hours first. No, that was stupid. Let me do days. No, I'm doing hours now. Hours now, right?
Alright.
Yeah. So that means that the officer has been alive. Now we okay. First, we started with 26 years because that's the difference, right? Then we multiplied it by 365 days because we wanted to check how many days that the officer, assuming they were 30 years old, have been alive more than the girl. So the difference is 26 times 365 days times 24. So now we're checking the hours. So the officer has been alive 227,760 hours more than the girl. Now we're gonna check how many minutes he's been alive more than the girl. The officer has been alive 13,665,600 minutes more alive than the girl. Do you know how long that is? No, like yeah, 13, bro. That means that he spent 13 more than almost 14 million minutes on this earth before the girl came. We're gonna do the seconds. Now here's the big boy. This guy before the girl was born, or girl, this officer before the girl was born, right? Spent 819,936,600 seconds on this earth. If this asshole doesn't justify how he killed a 4-year-old correctly, no, not how he shot a 4-year-old, he should be butt fucked. But anyway, we're gonna end the podcast. Thank you for listening to your host El Picante with my co-host. Yo, just call him Aaron. But my co-host Aaron. Thank you guys so much. We appreciate you for listening. This episode is a little bit long, but we hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. And as you could tell, I was very passionate and I was yelling in the microphone at some point. But fuck off. You needed to hear it. I lied. I lied. I lied. Nah, still fuck off. But yeah, thank you guys so much. Oh, and thank our sponsor, Pharmadex Inc., for supporting us. Pharmadex Inc. Bring your pharmacy to you. These guys always come up with new shit, bro. So what they are now doing is that they are using their pharmaceutical delivery services to help feed the homeless. Can you imagine that? Yeah, they are donating some of their profits to feed the homeless. Anyway, go on Pharmadex Inc. at PHARMEDX online.com. Once again, Pharmadex Inc. PharmadexOnline.com is the website. It's spelled PHARMEDX. Online is one word. and check the rates and tell your pharmacy to hook them up for you so that you could help feed some homeless too. We know it's cold in Canada nowadays, so you can help a brother off the street. Thank you for listening to another episode of the Get Hip podcast. We're a gang. We're here. I love you guys. Kisses. It's been a pleasure.